Oh, we're starting with a snap round. It's Poetry Slam.
Snapping good time.
Snapping good time. We're all ready for it. Welcome to Poetry Slam,
Ooh.
the best Thursday of the month.
Ooh. I have something here called the Desiderata. Go placidly amid the noise and haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. As far as possible, without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others. Even the dull and ignorant, they too have their story. Avoid loud and aggressive persons, they are vexations to the spirit. If you compare yourself with others, you may become vain and bitter, for always there will be greater or lesser persons than yourself. Enjoy your achievements as well as your plans. Keep interested in your own career, however humble it is, a real possession in the changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let this not blind you to what virtues there is. Many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of heroism. Be yourself, especially do not fringe affection, neither be clinical about love, for in the face of all adrinity and disenchantment, it is perennial as the grass. Take kindly the counsel of the years, gracefully surrender the things of youth, nurture strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune, but do not distress yourself with imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness. Beyond the wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have the right to be here, and whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore, be at peace with God, whatever you convince him to be, or whatever your labors and aspirations in the noisy confusion of life. Keep peace with your soul. With all its shame, drudgery, and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world. Be careful, strive to be happy. Found in Old St. Paul's Church, Baltimore, dated 1692.
This first poem is called Bad Shit. Here it goes. Reality is hard to obtain. This insanity is causing me so much pain. Every time I try to get a grip, it comes back and never seems to quit. It seems as though I just may snap. I'm lost and I can't find the map. I bounce off the walls all day and night. I can't admit that I don't feel right. I'm lost and I'm batshit crazy, it's plain to see. Will this madness ever set me free? I'm a sucker when I believe that they are real. And how the hell do I know what's real? On the whipping board for the ghost inside my head. Will I ever escape them before I am dead? Deep inside I try to scream. Why can't I wake up from this dream? This last one's called, this is also about mental illness too. This is called the car crash. Can't read this properly. Here it goes. There is rubble all over the street, but I try to get back on my feet. The cars are in shambles and in flames. There's a car crash in my brain. My body's bleeding out of the tarps, and there's a brutal scene inside my heart. I was already annoyed at first, though now things are worse. The laughter turned to screams. Terrors turned up on the scene. The investigators can't find a clue, and there's no way to get anywhere new. The car is in pieces on the ground, and my soul is in the lost and found.
What an ending line.
Go ahead. All right, I'm Cassandra, and I have two poems today. And the first one is called Witches, and it's about real-life witches. Once women could rely on each other's wisdom, embrace their intuition, learn about the life-giving power of their bodies, nurturing everything until it reached maturity, earning the trust and love of the community. Their sacred cats sat at their feet as they mixed medicine and cast spells. People brought their problems to them, and they found ways to make them well. They made divinations, conquered the randomness of love and war. They issued invitations to spirits who might help, whether the request was life, love, or wealth. Tribes trusted their insights, heard and heeded their voices in the governing body. The powers of the witch are still feared and sought for the guidance they have brought. These days we call them psychics or pagans, even opinionated mothers and grandmothers, those who pray for intervention, try and get a deity's attention. White magic or black magic, blood magic or sex magic, love magic or voodoo, not magic and potions into which they pour their devotion. Not all witches are good. Perhaps it's better that we are done with human sacrifice, but some are a shining light of hope for the helpless, a comfort for the bereaved, a balance to patriarchal systems. Witches who have learned to use the power inside. Even though witches are persecuted, the idea of them fires the imagination, and we approach them with trepidation. We miss the emotion and life experience they contribute to society. They care for us if we let them, in ways both ordinary and extraordinary. Mother, nurse, apothecary, advisory, the secret of our history lies in the priestess who visualizes, the friend who sympathizes and synthesizes herbal solutions. The world is a better place for the good witches out there, closer to just, nearer to fair, listening to our desires even if they cannot come true. It is wise women who will survive to rule. Thank you. And the next one is called Right. You never can agree with me. You never want to back down. You don't know the meaning of compromise. I'm always trying to keep the peace. You only know the sound of your own voice. In order for you to be right, I have to be wrong. Time and time again, it's the same old song. Every time I see that look in your eye, it's time to let the subject die. You make me cringe, you make me cry, and I know it's no use talking back. You don't care what I have to say. I let it pass like a sudden storm on a summer day. And we both understand that you have to be right. It's my job to acquiesce without a fight. You reward me with a relationship as long as I oblige, and think that I'm betraying you when I speak my mind. Around you, I'm afraid to express myself, and there's no truth to find. There's only your temper to pacify. Sometimes I ask myself, do you have the right to always be right? Every time I think the end of your tantrums is in sight, and we might have a balanced interaction. You only want my agreement, not my participation. I like to hear you talk. You have interesting things to say, but it's unfortunate that the conversation only goes one way. We can communicate as long as I hold my tongue, but I'm only acting as if I'm eternally wrong. It's just sad that this is the only way that we can get along. Thank you.
It's not about me.
I think it's called Precious Moments. With my feet on the ottoman, I snuggle into my chair with novel and tea for comfort, to spend many minutes there pleasured. The moments precious are to me, for they soothe me in ways obscure. Not many can appreciate their power to send me in places unknown. Happy am I to spend time leisured, doing what is thought well spent, in activities that are meaningful to one's well-being and health overall. Do not stop in so doing for yourself, for many benefits will accrue, and helps will find their way to you, so keep on doing these simple things.
So encouraging.
First one was when COVID first hit at the beginning there. It doesn't say COVID in here, but anyway, it says, in our time, the societies and the fighting, they fight, indeed. The truth so right, you'll never read. The world, it's falling. In disguise, the times, they're calling to be revised. The city, it's haunted. Inside and out, the people, they're counting their last routes. The sky, it's cloudy, nothing to show. The wind, it's howling, lost as it blows. This feeling so very real. Lives in our time, so sore it feels when brought to mind. The end. This was called Imagine. Imagine that. Can you imagine your favorite place? Can you imagine a lovely face? Can you remember the world you were in? Do you remember if Cupid stepped in? Can you see the one of your dreams? Or do you see only in your dreams? Can you feel the comfort of a touch? How do you feel when there's not much? Can you imagine the day that scars you to remember? Was it the day it rained forever? The end. Oh, I forgot this one. I thought I left this one behind me. The third last one, it's called I Dream of Dust. I think. When silence and darkness fill my world, my spirit begins to brush. I listen outside to the wind so free, this life is but a cloud of dust. When I look up to the faraway skies, my heart grows tired and eyes feel heavy. I begin to wonder, will my dust blow that high? This dream is one I've had forever. When my world is black and difficult to see, the blood in my veins begin to rush. I listen outside to the wind so free, close my eyes, I dream of dust. That's all. Just pretty dusty.
All right.
All right, I got 4 short poems. Prancing elves. Miasma, miasm, orgasm, organism. How little is the difference? The deference, the only reference to some paler shade of puce, perhaps. Yet when all is said and done, the birds still chirp and languid beasts lay in the snowy woods where the ache of fall and the dance of the little people titters and sways, totters and plays, gasping for a final breath. Breathe deeply now before the moan of winter's crone and the prancing of gay elves so timid they pop in for to kiss your ear. And that's with little regret and much love to RJH. Perplexing docks. Declension attention, Achtung Pow, there is no wrong or right or now. Or is there something yet within? I feel it growing on my chin. This sprout about to beam in space, this tiny flower upon my face, with which such grace I dare not tell, but sometimes wish it went to hell. So hell it is and hell it was, the curse now gone, I shrug along in purple mocks, perplexing docks. Try that on for size, Herr Doctor, some spell it is. With regrets and respect to KOK.
Okay.
My psychiatrist. This one's called Cadishaw's Lament. Cadishaw is a character in a Gilbert and Sullivan play called The Mikado. All right, Cadishaw's Lament. Amaryllis ringer wronger, please don't be a dinger donger. Please release me from this grip, this trip to Spain to pain belie. These blue-toned eyes have cried and cried on the inside, but now they're dry, and alas, so am I. My true love for to see, an older self upon the shelf, alone but yet alive, wails Cadishaw in crimson robes. Her loves now live in nursing homes and tiny igloos reading news. Her latest exploits, poor excuse for another steamy tirade. With regrets and great affectation to JEC.
JC.
And the last one is the Great Horned Owl song. Allo, allo, said an ivory owl to a wooden man. The man was lonely, the owl so homely, yet they danced beneath the trees, dangling fiery innuendos over the fence, jousting daily with or without words or things. And as she gently walked in through his door one day to feast upon his stores of crisp and draughts of ale, did he suddenly appear and cast her out. Her pitiful cry of love, no doubt in vain, a wooden mane would soon began being Regina Victoria's Great Horned Owl song. With apologies to AS.
Okay, so this is called Plan on Tomorrow, and all my poems are to the glory of God and to Gwyneth with love. I got here as fast as I could, but I learned so much. I'll never learn so many times a day. Every step I took got me here. I'll never be the same. Neither will my steps. I plan on tomorrow, but time is like a second. The burden I carry is beyond today. The steps I take are beyond this moment. An age is about 1,000 years, but I'll never see the ground move. Hummingbirds fly like a garden. Eagles fly like an ocean. Trojans learn like yesterday. Buildings rise like cleaning clothes. I'll dance in a grave only if it's welcomed. Snow falls mostly in the forest. We enjoy all time and space infinitely. The crowd wants humanity. They pay for all the drama possible. A reader wants a deep well of certainty. Birds feel seduced by flight, yet they can avoid a storm. As children go by, communities rise and fall. A burden on a back is death itself. Light bulbs have been antiquated. The future is here, but with different features. TV phone calls aren't as awkward as we thought. Flying cars have airports. The rich create a world for themselves. At least they're including a lot of people to enjoy their pleasure. People are resources for the variety of wealth. Fights are the numb brain of power. They seem entranced by a reflection of their own deeds, making a sense of right and wrong, the immorality of making whim immoral. If their moment-to-moment pleasure is questioned, it's evil. Feeding themselves with drama, killing many children, getting attention like a child. Here is a line in the sand. I have been around the world. That could be a lie. Try and stop me. If you do, I'm on Dr. Phil or The Apprentice. Then the sunrise is in my grasp because I bought it. Show interest in me and I've won. If all the bees die, others will probably make it unnoticeable. If the magnetic north goes south, it will make the world a better place. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Faith in God is irresponsible behavior. We rebuild before the other buildings fall. We start in the sky, we can never go home again. A circle is never a circle because it has to be experienced. Love means never having to say you're sorry, but that doesn't always make sense. A waterfall doesn't flow upwards. The imagination of children will surprise you. Hopefully you'll keep trying when you have little reason to do so. If I start over, I will never finish. That really matters to me.
That one was too good, I got. Thank you everybody for sharing your work today. It's always lovely and beautiful to hear your words, but I don't know what it was about today, so especially it was a good day. Everyone had good work. And clap for yourself.
Yeah.